Hello again. I am back with a short video for you today. I have a few tips that I want to talk to you about sustainable kitchen practices. And basically what that means is being a little bit smarter about how you use your foods that might be going bad soon, or if you want to donate them, and just ideas, or mostly probably reminders, because a lot of this is common sense, probably stuff that a lot of you already do, but I have one big point that I want to make that a lot of people might not think about that made me really want to do this video. So as some of my other recent videos, I have some notes here to help me stay on track. So if you see me looking to the side, that is why. And it's easy for me to derail myself from staying on topic. So I'm going to try to stay on topic and make it short. So if you're watching, drop a comment or a GIF or an emoji, say hi. I would love to hear from you, and leave any comments or questions as usual. And instead of saving it for the end of the video, I want to invite you to my private Facebook community, the FitBiz Raw Energy Oasis. The link is in the description, and it's for anybody, men, women, and it's really a place to, since FitBiz is about energy, finding and keeping your energy, optimizing your energy, the Raw Energy Oasis, think of it as a private little space for extra tips about energy and getting through life and working through your struggles, and having extra cheerleaders if you need them to remind you to keep going or take it easy or whatever it is that you need. So I hope to see you there. Join my private Facebook community. So sustainable kitchen practices. The first tip I want to say, it's an obvious one, but maybe you need to hear it. I've gotten good about this, but I remember there was a time where it seemed like I was always throwing away produce, and nobody likes to do that, right? It feels wasteful, and you're like, oh, there it goes, can't eat it. But here's the thing. A lot of times I think it really comes down to just having a little more self-awareness when you're at the store. Now, I could be wrong. This might not apply to everybody, but this is your reminder if you need it. To have a little bit more self-awareness at the store. I know that going to the store multiple times can get tiring, so that might be a reason that you buy more than you can actually use. Or if it's on sale, I know that's a big reason. One of my friends lately, she mentioned that avocados were like 99 cents and she wanted to buy 1 million of them, but she didn't know what she'd do with them. And it's tempting, right? I totally get that, especially for things like avocados, strawberries, blueberries, and things that are not always in season, or you could definitely tell that they don't taste as good when they're not in season. But be honest with yourself about how much you can really need. And I was listening to a podcast recently. I love this podcast. It's called Happier with Gretchen Rubin, and she's all about just little teeny tiny things that you can do to be a little bit happier. Not like, ta-da, I am a happy person, but a little bit happier. And one thing that she said that made sense, I think it was actually a listener that wrote into the show, was like, they're always running out of milk, and they hate running out of milk, and they can't seem to keep up with the milk. So her and her significant other, helps if you have that kind of help, but they made this deal that anytime they're at the store, just buy milk. That way, there's a lot less of having to go to the store for milk. If you're at the store for something else and it's something that you're consistently running out of, say like avocados, that's something that I've always feel like, man, I wish I have an avocado right now. Or I have this one mushy brown avocado that will taste gross. But that's something that you can do, is just have the self-awareness to either say no to the sales if you know you're not going to use the stuff, or just if it's something that you always need, like milk or avocados or whatever it is, just always buy it when you're at the store if you feel like you're consistently running out. So I thought that was a great tip. Basically, so just only buy what you need. Be honest with yourself about it. Also, freeze it. Now, I mentioned this in a couple other recent videos that I did, but if you have produce, now this really goes for greens like baby spinach, kale, broccoli, things like that. If you buy it fresh, and if you don't use it in 1 or 2 days, the potency of the vitamins, the availability in the vitamins significantly goes down. I have a chart somewhere. I need to find it, but it really shows how, I think for baby spinach, this one stuck in my head. I think for baby spinach, it loses like 50 to 75% of its vitamin C within 3 days after being picked. So freeze it. If you're not going to use it right away, if you know you might use it 3 or 4 days from now, freeze it until you're ready for it. And a lot of times, I know it can alter the taste a little bit, but I would rather have an altered taste and still get the nutrients than have a little slightly insignificant better taste and have significantly less nutrients. So that's an idea right there. There are a lot of foods that you can freeze that I think a lot of people just don't really think about freezing. So freeze stuff. Another one. Okay, this is the big one. Well, I'll say that for last. Third one, just rescue foods before they go bad, or find recipes that will be your go-to. Like an easy common one is putting bananas. If bananas are starting to go bad, put them in the freezer. You can use them to make banana ice cream or use them to make banana bread. I know a lot of people do that. So look for recipes that I'm sure if you Google it for whatever it is, say it's carrots, potatoes, I don't know what else, but you can find recipes for anything. So if you have stuff that's going bad, look for recipes. Say like for overripe carrots, overripe potatoes, or anything like that you know, like, oh, these aren't going to be good if I don't eat them soon. What can I do with them? So do searches like that, and then once you know, you kind of know that's your go-to. So once you find the recipe, you know that's your backup for when stuff starts to go bad. So that's always good to know. Here's the last one. Donate it. Now, this is a very personal thing to me. And so I feel myself getting choked up already. So honest moment with you guys. As some of you might or might not know, I've been through quite a struggle with my health and job loss. And I know I keep talking about it, but it also feels that people who are very close to me also still don't comprehend the severity of what I have been through and what I'm still trying to overcome. So it is a very personal thing. It's a little bit hard for me to talk about. So in the very recent past, there was a time where I literally could not afford food. And I would be in Facebook groups, like in my community, and they'd be like, go to the food bank, go to the food pantry. But the thing is, when you have autoimmune issues, when you have a mile-long list of foods that you can't eat, those food pantries don't do any good because it's processed, packaged junk. And it hit me hard. Okay, another honest moment. I hope the person that this is about watches, they don't get upset. But this was, I was having a random conversation with somebody in my life, and this person was like, oh, so-and-so gave the gluten-free pasta to the mailman for the food drive, for the food pantry. And I was like, why did you give that away? I bit my tongue in the moment, but it has stuck with me because oftentimes people who are struggling because they are jobless, they're not getting medical care. They are not getting adequate nutrition. They do not have those luxuries. I've been there in the very, very recent past. It's a scary place to be. I still have yet to go to the doctor. I'm trying to get through this without actual tears coming out. But my point is, if you are the type of person who likes to donate, if you have extra dollars and you're not hurting to pay your bills, consider donating things that are healthy, not processed garbage. Now, I know that the, what's the word? Things like canned goods, they last a long time. So dried cereal, people donate those things to food pantries and food drives because they don't go bad as fast and they don't know how long it's going to last. But keep in mind that the people getting those things, they really need nutrition. So if you can spare the extra money, the extra few dollars, the gluten-free pasta for somebody who can't afford food but gets sick when they eat gluten, do that, because like I said, in the not so distant past, I was in that bind where I literally could not afford food. There were days where I literally went to bed hungry and did not know how I was going to even eat the next day. But I could not go to food pantries because the few times I tried, it was nothing but food that I was sensitive to. Sorry to be so serious. I hope this wasn't a total buzzkill on your day, but I really wanted to point that out because if you don't have food sensitivities, if you don't have financial struggles, you probably don't think about these things, but it is very, very real. And another thing, when people are having a financial crisis to where they cannot afford food or medical care, a lot of those people have undiagnosed health problems. They have, they're under severe stress. Their immune systems are already broken down due to the stress. They cannot afford supplements or medical care to feel better. And due to a lot, if that stuff is going on, there is a high probability that those people have brain fog. I still experience a lot of that because of the symptoms I'm still fighting. And if you've never experienced brain fog, it's a very scary place to be, especially if you know there's no getting the proper care and nutrients that you need in the near future. But the best thing for brain fog is heavy doses of nutrient-dense foods. So I won't keep going on and on about it. Like I said, I'm sorry to be a downer today, but this is a very real thing that I hope some people will consider. So thank you so much for listening. Give me a like so you can help bring more exposure to my page. Health and fitness pages are being pushed down in the algorithm on social media, not being seen as much unless people have an MD behind their name. So if you drop a like, it greatly helps my business and I greatly appreciate it. So if you like this business, drop a like, say something, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.